Hi, I'm Felicity from ClimaTalk, and I'm here with Bianca from ProVeg. I'm going to ask her what her organisation's up to at COP30.
Yes, thank you very much. So yeah, we're ProVeg International, which is a food awareness organization, and we work towards transforming food systems to be more sustainable, resilient, and equitable, and compassionate for people, planet, animals. Yeah, and among the projects that we also have a youth board, which I manage to lead. And the youth board is it's a group of 20 young activists. We engage with them on a yearly basis. So each board stays with us for a year, and they advise us. So they advise us because, of course, food systems transformation is not easy, and it's complex, and we want to try to make it in a more in a more complete way. So we also want to include youth voices. This is why we thought to create this board. And with them, we do various projects. They advise us. And this year, we had also a special project because actually we did a statement. We did a statement about key youth demands on the plant-rich food systems transformation. So that was very excited. We did a consultation first with a couple of organizations. And then we also collected inputs, I think from, I don't know how many countries, but we had more than 100 inputs received, and from all over the world, across all continents. And we tried to include all these perspectives into one document, looking at how we can transform food systems to be more plant-rich.
Yay. Amazing.
Yes. And what about you? So you said you talk ClimaTalk,
yep.
Right? But what is ClimaTalk? I don't know.
Yeah, so ClimaTalk is a youth-led non-profit. We're a global organization, so we have volunteers, over 100 volunteers from over 30 different countries across 6 different continents. And we basically work to demystify climate policy for young people. So we're trying to connect. Yeah, exactly, especially in places like this where there's a lot of difficult jargon and it can be really difficult to understand the language. So even earlier this week, we co-hosted a session on the UNFCCC's decoding their language. So we were basically guiding young people through a workshop where we were picking out certain phrases and words and trying to help them understand the context in which they'll be used here. We do a lot of work in basically trying to just make it a more accessible space. So young people are being activated to come into climate action, and they want to do something about the issues that they're facing in their homes or in their communities, or that they've heard about online, but they often don't know how to move in the space, how to enter the space, how to understand the space. So yeah, we do a lot of work writing articles and all sorts. So I'd be happy to share more.
Yeah, and that's absolutely needed. It happened to me the same when I started working with ProVeg and UN policy. I was like, what are these things? What are these words? Why are we talking about these? I don't know.
It's so unnecessarily confusing, and it's especially for a lot of young people whose maybe English isn't their first language as well, and so they have the whole conference and the SPs as well, always held in these terms. It can be really difficult. But going back to the demands that you identified in ProVeg, what are the main challenges and opportunities that young people identified for a plant-rich food system the transformation that's needed in that sense? What did you see from that?
Yes, exactly. We identified many. We tried to put them also in order of how much it felt important for these young people that gave us input. But I will just mention maybe one challenge and one opportunity.
That'd be great.
So that if you want, I can then share the document. You can have a look.
Please.
I think the main one of the challenges that we identified is also misinformation and policy lock-in, which on misinformation you already mentioned a lot of things, but also policy lock-in. So the fact that governments and policies are not in place to have this transformation towards plant-rich diets. And actually, it's the contrary. So we saw that, for example, subsidies. Of course, the money that governments spend to promote a certain sector, a certain economy, or whatever, often subsidies in the agricultural sector goes to distorting and harmful for the nature. They are distorting and harmful to the nature. I remember I had this data that really shocked me. In 2021, UNEP analyzed that $540 million go into subsidies that are harmful for the nature, which is an incredible amount. And 87% of the subsidies in Europe go to animal-based production, either directly or indirectly. So we thought, okay, this is a big challenge, but we also have many different opportunities, and we identified a few. And I think one of the, aside from the environmental benefits and related to climate change, actually one that really it's important for people is the health benefits. Exactly, because we want to be healthy, we want to feel good, and actually plant-based diets do help with this. They help prevent a lot of premature deaths related to cardiovascular diseases or diabetes, and also this impacts the economy, because then you can spend less money on health systems because people are healthier. And so there are also others, but these were the ones that I wanted to share.
And I feel like I remember seeing in the youth declaration that you just released that those subsidies, if they were put towards plants, they could feed more people anyway, right? And it would be more nutrient rich. So, really, that's what we should be doing and directing towards.
Yes, these subsidies will go, to the production of, plants, vegetables, fruits and legumes, also indigenous crops. This will help, not only to have healthier food for the people, but also more independence also, and more livelihoods for the farmers, because they would get a revenue, a fixed support for the production of these type of crops. So yeah, we have many different benefits, so health, environment, and we are here at COP to speak about this, so to share about these demands and hopefully have them received by the government. And we'll see. What about you? What are you doing here at COP? What is your main goal?
Well, actually, we're here in two different sort of capacities. So we do have an on-the-ground delegation of climate talkers who are walking around and they're interviewing young people and trying to capture their voices, get to know what they're doing here, where they're from, really trying to share insights with our audience back home and the people that are online that we talk to, so that they can feel like they're a little bit closer to COP, because it's not such an accessible space and not everybody can be here, especially this year where it's so expensive and it's a long way away for some people. So it's really about trying to find that inclusivity and make them feel like more of a community, right?
Part of this.
Yeah.
Even if from far away,
yeah,
they get to be part.
Exactly. And ClimaTalk have been interviewing young people, especially at conferences like the ESPYs and the COPs for about 4 or 5 years now. So and so we like to return to the same people and talk to them about how their journeys are going, and then also meet new people who are entering the space for the first time and say how's it going? How's your first COP? What are you hoping to get from this? Find out what their hopes and ambitions are, and also what they're feeling in the space, so that we can really get a better insight. But we are also here tracking the negotiations. So we have negotiation trackers here on the ground who are attending side events and the negotiations where they can, to take stock of what's happening, especially in the food and agriculture sector, which is very important to us too. So we really support everything ProVeg is doing. We align, definitely, we support that. And we also have a group of people who are amazing. They're working super hard back home. They're following online the negotiations, and they're writing up debriefs and summaries, so that every day, more or less, we can post to our audience and say, here's what you missed, or here's what's happening, and we can help you understand this. It's basically this. You don't have to worry too much about that. This is what's happening. It's good news, it's bad news, it's no news. Often,
that's great, a summary of, because it can get crazy,
exactly.
Meetings, changing terms, and you don't understand what is actually the outcome, but you're giving them okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
So that's great.
And coming from young people, I think it's a little bit easier to understand. Yeah. So it makes them feel like, all right, okay, now I know how to get involved. Now I know what I want to do to take action, or actually that's really interesting to me, so I'm going to follow that track next year, that sort of thing. So that's a little bit about what we're doing here and talking to our audience back at home. But I really want to know, what about you in terms of the actions that you identified that you could move on now, with the opportunities you identified, and also the challenges? What are the actions that you have next?
Yeah, exactly. Because still again, in this document that we prepared with the youth board, we not only identify which challenges there are, which opportunities, but we also look, okay, what are the key demands, which policies can be implemented, and there are a few, but just to maybe just two quick examples. One is public food procurement. So having plant-based options in schools, canteens, public institutions, exactly. because really like having plant-based options as the default in these places can help people to approach this type of diet and yeah, and help them to make the easy choice. That's what all is about, you know. And ProVeg also we works on public food procurement, especially in schools with little children. Yes, we have like school meals, which is a project in some countries where we are based in, and we do like workshops with kids. We teach them how to cook, and also with the chefs. So that's really amazing. And maybe a second one also, since we're here at top, also putting food systems at the center of the climate policy, you know, the climate action. And yeah, and especially like this year, as I imagine you know, countries who have submitted all the NDCs. I think more than half now they already submitted.
Yeah, already.
But still some are missing. And not always agriculture is at the center of these NDCs, even if it's mentioned, then some other elements are missing. For example, diets, consumption. This is often missing, and it's a missed opportunity to address systems in a holistic manner. So yeah, these are two of the policies that we suggest countries to implement. So we'll see if they listen.
Yes, absolutely. And we will be there supporting those movements if we can. Anything that we can do. I think it's really important that young people get to understand the misinformation and disinformation around this area as well. And it's definitely a key focus for us too. So thank you so much for talking with me. And it's been a brilliant conversation. I absolutely loved it. So thank you very much. Thank you.
And I look forward to looking at all the summaries from the negotiations that I'm using. So
yes, definitely. Yes. You can find them on our social media and also on our website. So please take a look. Yeah. Great. Thank you.